Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey everybody, how you doing? And welcome to the show. I'm so happy you could be here. If this is your first time here, welcome. Now listen, my next guest, I've been talking to her behind the scenes. When I say an early riser, trust me, she's an early riser. She's ready to go. She's been ready since this morning. She's pumped, she's ready. And I hope you're ready for this next guest because she's exciting. But let's go. All right, without further ado, because she's been up and ready, I don't want to keep her waiting. Please welcome to the show. Hi, Alicia. How you doing?
Hey, Charles. I'm so happy to be on your show today.
All right.
Wow. Yes, I am an early riser. Been up since 4:30.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, I had to put that in. I'm like, when you first told me up at you, but the thing is, this is not a one-time thing.
No, this is my daily routine, and I love it.
Every day.
Every day. Yep.
Okay.
Thereabouts.
All right. So we got to get into this before we get into the show. What time do you go to bed?
About 10, between 10 and 11. So I'm a 5 to 7 hour sleeper.
Okay. And then when you get up at 4:30, like what do you see? Like what do you do the first thing? How do you get up and get energized at 4:30?
Wow. The first thing that I do when as my eyes open, I just give thanks, and I'm so excited. I smile. I, pause in bed for a moment to pray and to just give thanks and just be grateful for another day. And so that's what I do first thing. Then I get out of bed, wash my face, brush my teeth and stuff like that, go around my desk, do my meditation for about 10, 15 minutes. I go through my affirmation cards, maybe a few of them, as well as I write gratitude statements. And that takes me about half an hour. Love it, love it, love it. And then that just really sets the tone. I set the intention for my day, and I'm so supercharged and ready. After that, I study for about an hour or so. I'm doing a certificate program in human resource management after doing 3 degrees already. You tell me why I need to be studying more, but just I'm always a curious person, always learning. So that's about an hour. Then maybe I have personal emails and things to catch up on. Then at 7 o'clock, I'm on the treadmill, or I'm out on the track, or I'm doing some kettlebell workout. I'm doing something. Then I get ready and I'm ready for work at 8:30. Are you tired yet?
I was still, I curled over 3 times. My blanket pulled it over when you were doing half that stuff. But
yes, it's exciting.
It works. You're energized. You got that beautiful smile, and you're ready to
Thank
go.
you.
So let's talk about who you are first. Let's go back. Let's talk about the little girl. Where did little girl grow up? Where are you from? Give us your background.
Oh, this little girl is island girl. So, I grew up in rural Jamaica in a little town called Geisel. Shout out to all my friends in Geisel. A very small community, very humble beginnings. My mother is a teenage mother, and so my grandmother stepped in, and I think I had a very joyful childhood, or early years, because I was surrounded by extended family, my aunts, my uncles, my cousins, everybody. Living in that extended family environment, my grandparents loved me, especially my grandmother, who would relay stories in my teen years about when I was a little girl and all the joys. I could see the joy in her face as she was retelling those stories. I'm like, I did that, I did that.
Mm-hmm.
She always liked to talk about when I was little. And so in rural, where I was living and or environment, they used to put out what is called a wash pan, like a big metal basin of sorts, out in the sun, heat the water for the baby to go have, like to splash and while having a bath, the morning bath. So she always told this story of when I was little. Um, After the bathing and the splashing, I would go inside the house and plaster myself from head to toe with Blue Seal Vaseline. I don't even know what Blue Seal Vaseline is, but she said I would come back out on the veranda, and I would be slipping and sliding, and it was just a joy for her to relay that story. So that's a little bit about me in terms of my background.
Little girl slipping, sliding with Vaseline all over. What was your dream of becoming? What did you want to do? What did you see yourself as an adult?
I didn't know. I didn't grow up with many role models at all. My mother, my grandmother, they were peasant farmers, just small scale farmers. So I didn't even know there was no mentoring and coaching to say, hey, you're going to go to university, you're going to do this. There was nothing like that. But what I remember is that at about 11 years old, I had an epiphany. And, I think I was at school or walking home from primary school, and something just struck me that you are going somewhere, you're going places, and the world is bigger than this little area that you live in and your circumstances, and you're going somewhere. And that just struck for me. I was always great in school, always an athlete, always all of that, but something, and I remember distinctly the moment when I was 11 years old.
And that's key, because I think that's key for everybody listening, and any young person listening, know that there's something bigger outside your box. You don't have to sit there. You can grow and move forward outside your box. And that is fantastic to hear what you become, because look at all the stuff you're doing. You know what I mean? Look at all the stuff you're doing.
Yeah, thank you. You asked about if I knew where I was gonna be, how my career would go, the life I would live. No, but one thing, a huge shout out to Jamaican teachers. They really set you straight, chart the path for children like me who, after a while, my mother took on the responsibility to raise me at about 6, 7 years old. And she didn't know much. She was a high school dropout. And so the teachers really saw my potential, and they really took me under their wings and always set me straight and helped me to see the next, go from one level to the next. If I start calling names, I'm going to get in trouble. But, my high school teachers, they know themselves. I remember, passing CXC in Jamaica in those days. And I did excellent. I got something like 7 1s and 1 2, outstanding, top performer. And I didn't even know where I was going to go. And one teacher said, listen to me, Pickney. You are going to now go up St. Mary High School and apply for sixth form.
Yeah.
And you're going to do this and you're going to do that. And that's how, teachers charted the path and showed me the next step and the next step. And here I am today. I've completed 3 degrees,
right,
and I still continue to study and to grow.
Okay, so we won't call out the teachers, but call out.
No, we can't call a name.
What school did you go to? What school did you go to?
Yes, I can say the school I went to, and huge shout out to all my friends. We met even just on Sunday. We have a group going.
Okay.
So I went to Geisel High School.
Okay.
Hey, Geisel High School.
There you go. Everybody's right now.
Right? So I shout out to all the Geisel High School teachers and all my friends and everyone. So we now meet my year, my batch the graduating year. I'm not even going to tell you the graduating year. We just raised over 150,000 Jamaican dollars to put a new PA system in the school. So we continue. You can't forget your roots, man. You got to go back. You got to give back. You paid forward. And I know everyone is so passionate about that. So
let's move into the new chapter in your life. Okay.
Yes,
and
excited.
And speaking of chapters, let's talk about what it is. So tell everybody what you have done, and I'm excited to talk to you about it.
Oh yes. My coach, mentor, and friend Daisy Wright. Shout out. Big shout out to Daisy, who is a career coach. Tapped me for this opportunity. I'd say early summer. We had a chat. Just the two of us had a chat, and she said, "What if so and so?" And we brainstormed about it. To write an anthology, a book with diverse people, diverse women or voices. So we have people representing so many different countries, so many continents. It's a really representative book in terms of the diversity of folks. Exactly up my alley, up my alley. I'm really excited about this book. So that's how it started.
Yeah, but this is your first book.
Yes, it's my first book. My first book. Yeah, I'm so excited. I am so excited. Oh my goodness, Charles.
The thing is about you're like, oh yeah, and I'm like, I'm so excited for you. This is your first book. How does it?
Yes.
How does it
Oh
feel?
my goodness, it feels. It feels surreal. It really feels surreal. Just contributing to a project where I can make a difference and really tell my story,
Right.
and hope that will inspire someone. Some young girl walking barefoot with, tear up clothes and running down the street in Jamaica or anywhere around the world to know that everything is possible.
Yes, and that's why I think that's why I'm so excited for you, because listening to your story of where you came from, all the stuff you're doing, now you can add another check mark to the book. Now you can add to author.
Author. Yeah. Wow. It sounds big, eh? Author. Wow. It's like, really?
Now your legacy will always be on the shelves. Don't think of the concept. You will always be around. There's a part of you that will.
That's a big deal. What gets written gets carried forward.
Exactly.
I wasn't even thinking about it that way, but you're really right, Charles.
Were you nervous the first time? Because I'm that's a big move to put pen to paper, get the words out, tell people your story. What do I say? What do I don't say? How much do I give? How did you come up with it to come with what concept you gave and what you wanted to say?
That's a really great question. And it took several iterations before I submitted my draft, right, to the manuscript. And I thought about what I wanted to say. I really wanted to write about something that would be meaningful.
Okay.
I've had ups and downs and challenges in many areas of my life. I'm like, do I make it personal? Do I make it this? Do I make it that? And then I landed on really my time in Canada. All right, let's fast forward.
Mm-hmm.
All right, the plane has landed and you're in Canada. What has been your experience?
Right.
And so that's what I wrote about, in particular the workplace context, my experience having to navigate the Canadian workplace.
And I guess that couldn't have been easy for you.
It was not.
Coming over and then, something new, something different, how did that come about?
I came here as an adult, and I mean, right out of a master's program from the University of the West Indies, I started out my career as a senior policy analyst. I was set to really make a significant difference in the public sector right from the get go. And my partner and I decided that why not look at opportunities elsewhere? We looked at the UK, we looked at the USA, and we looked at Canada, and we decided we would, apply to be permanent residents in Canada. And
Right.
so we decided on that, and then we came to Canada, bright and bushy tail, and all excited to start this new life. And reality struck really fast. Lord, it hard over here. Not only is it cold, but it was challenging to get back into a professional setting. I started out in retail. Yes.
Okay.
May I help you? Welcome, Welcome, or special today. Buy 2 t-shirts, get 1 free.
Right. All right. I want to dive in more into it and how when you coming as an adult, the diversity in our workplace, how everything happens. So let's dive right into that right after this next break. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. CMJ Entertainment is a one-stop shop. CMJ Entertainment helps people to do any type of events, and it's a marketing tool as well. So we'll cover everything from start to finish. If it's a wedding, we'll make sure your wedding is over the top. And if it's an event, we make sure that everybody gets information at the end of the day. Give us a call at 416-414-8964 or online, go to cmjent.com. Yeah. Yes, we're back live with my special guest. She's up, she's ready to go. So before we move on, and I want to find out how it was for you to get into the workplace and, coming over for the first time, looking for your job. Was it easy? Was it hard? Did you get open doors, closed doors? How was it for you? But before we do that, we're going to play a quick game called Rapid Fire. Are you ready?
Whoa. Yes, I'm ready.
All right, here we go. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. First thing that pops into your head, and you can tell a quick story why you picked those. Okay? All right, here we go. Favorite food?
Jerk chicken.
Jerk chicken.
I love the spicy. Yeah.
All right, ready? It. Here we go. Oxtail or curry goat?
No more oxtail, man.
Favorite book?
I gotta say, one of my favorite books. I'm reading Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People. Really practical tips.
All right. Favorite sport?
Netball, I grew up playing netball. Yeah.
Your favorite superhero and why?
Oh my goodness, that's a hard one. Can it be regular people, or it has to be like Marvel character and all them stuff?
Superhero.
I'm gonna have to say Nelson Mandela.
Nice.
It sounds cliche, but
he
inspires me.
There you go. What is your hidden talent?
Oh my goodness. Track and field.
Okay. Straight athlete. Yeah. I like it. I'm liking it. I can see why.
I've always dreamt that one of these days I'll be a master's athlete.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you never know. At age, I may be out there running or doing something like that.
All right.
I joke with my kids that maybe in a few years I'll be doing weightlifting or something.
There you go. Dream is always there. All right. Here's the last question.
Yeah.
You have an opportunity. Nelson Mandela would have come to your house for dinner. Mm-hmm. What are you preparing for him?
Wow, it would have to be a Jamaican cuisine. If it's breakfast, I'll have to go with the national dish, you know. It would have to be ackee and saltfish. And I'll have to decide whether I want to do boiled food, you know, some provisions, or I'll do fried dumpling or something. I may do a combination of stuff and you can choose everything. If it's dinner, I gotta have, you know, I'd have to maybe think of oxtail or, you know, curry goat or something, you know, exquisite like that.
All I know is he's leaving your house with about 20 pounds on him.
Yes, you
I,
would.
I love. So here we go. Good to know you a little bit more. And I think, I can hear the love of your background. I can hear the love of you growing up and the food and your culture. So talk about how when you came and looking for a job, how was it to be somebody different from another country looking for a job here? Was it easy for you?
It was very hard, Charles. I wish I could say it was easy. It still is hard. It never gets easy.
Mhm.
So, you know, just when I came to Canada over a decade and a half ago, you know, just not understanding the cultural nuances, not being culturally competent, not understanding the workplace norms, you know, like learning to toot your own horn and do all those kind of things. It was really challenging. In fact, it was even challenging to get within a professional job right out the gate. I sent out hundreds of applications, like most new immigrants do. No response. So that's how I started in my retail and my call center job, which I relay in the story in the book. You have to buy the book and read the full story. Um, and then I volunteered. I chose, you know, that to put my hand up for an opportunity that I saw in a local newspaper in Toronto and volunteered at a nonprofit organization. And that started my, you know, interest and passion for diversity and inclusion work. So
Okay.
I've you know found my passion in that space, and it matches really nicely with what I've studied before, having a background in psychology and sociology and law. You know, doing human rights, equity, diversity, and inclusion work is just hard work. Oh, I can tell you, it's hard work,
Then
but
let me ask you,
very gratifying.
right? So what have you learned then? What have you learned from this experience in doing that?
Wow, what I've learned is that you can't give up. You have to keep going. And you know, as well, I'm not going to stereotype and so on,
Yeah.
but you know, as Caribbean people, we know how to work hard and we never give up. So we are constantly going and going. So you just have to keep going and find something that you're passionate about, something that you love, and keep looking for opportunities to insert yourself there. Look, seek out mentors, seek out organizations that can help you to get where you need to go, and don't give up. It takes time. It takes a lot of time.
Right. Let's bring in this website, and I want you to talk about, because this is what you were telling me helped through, parts of the book and the stories and everything that you're doing. Talk about this. Look, what is this that we're looking at? Let's Grow project.
Oh yeah, so Let's Grow project. So my good friend and coach Daisy Wright is a person behind this website. So in 2016, I went to her first visioning um, session. So in January each year, Daisy has a vision session with a select group of women. And I've been going since 2016. So every year I've gone, and we create our vision of what we really want for that particular year or for the future. And so that's how the Let's Grow project was born. And I've been supporting the project ever since. It has helped me to grow as well. And in 2020, at the 2020 session, Vision 2020, it was, it was aptly named by Daisy. We came up with the idea that we had a sip and paint day, And Daisy threw out the idea there. See that picture with the women holding up those blue-looking
Right.
pictures? Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we painted. Daisy had the idea that we could perhaps write a book. And then a couple months later, she revisited the idea. We talked about it, and here we are. We wrote that book. And Daisy has been a tremendous advocate for all people. I mean, you talk about her career. She's helped so many people with their careers and with their lives. Such a giving person. And so the effort that Daisy has put behind this book is simply incredible. So that's how this book project started, and here we are today, December 2nd, 2020, before the December 12th, rather. Where are we? December 2nd, right? Where am I? I'm looking at my computer. And so here we are today. We have a book to show from this 2020 vision.
Yeah. So here, let me ask you this. From what you've in the book, talking to people, your experience, what can be, what can we, what can, it can be done to change the issues of inclusion and working with people and making it easier for somebody like you that came? Like, what's your thoughts?
My thought around this is that the workplace needs to be more inclusive of everyone. And there needs to be systems which are put in place to reach out broadly to all people. So when I came to Canada, there were some community organizations like Access and some other organizations helping people to relaunch their careers. But I think that is not enough to leave it to local nonprofits and to government and so on. I think businesses need to do more to cast a wide net, to find talent, to hire diverse people from diverse backgrounds. And so that people don't have that really such a hard time transitioning. So that's one of the things. And one of the things I think about, once people enter the workforce, whether they change career or continue their career, is that the workplace needs to be inclusive. There are several challenges in the workplace around systemic biases. You know, racism and other isms are very real in the workplace, whether it's in hiring and promotion practices. And workplaces really need to look into that. When you look at the statistics, you know, I was doing a little bit of research before coming on, and we in Canada, we have nearly 1.2 million Black people. We have, you know, over 1.6 million Indigenous people. And when you look in the workplace, certain workplaces, certain sectors don't have them, or you don't see a lot of people who look like you in the workplace. When you look at leadership, senior leadership, don't even, not to mention that, they are just not there. You know, I looked at some data, and I think it said they're like just over 5% of board people on FP 500 boards are people of color. That's a small number of people. So there are systemic issues which are present, which organizations need to look into. I think about it in the sense that you cannot leave it to people to champion themselves, to advance their careers by themselves. We are operating within a framework, where there has been historical discrepancies among different people, and we have to account for that. And we have to go above and beyond in organizations to right those historical issues. And some of the ways that that organizations can implement systemic change, like practical systemic change. I talked about hiring and promotion practices, reach widely Are you going over to certain universities or certain colleges and hiring only those people coming into your organization? You should reach out to some of the more non-traditional places to find talent. They are there. I talked about almost 1.2 million Black people. They're there. We always say that you can't find them. They're there.
Right. So don't keep your vision this way. Just open it up wide, find out different ways of doing things, look at different people, where they're coming from. And because the as they say, whoever got you, find the diamond in the rough, because they would have never met you before. You know what I mean? If they have gone out and met you, then you see all the things you've done, all the things you have achieved, but they don't know until we go out. And that's the main
Exactly.
thing. Open the doors, find other ways of going out. So
absolutely agree with you on that.
So what chapter in the book are you?
I'm chapter 12.
Everybody, one more time.
12 is a good number,
Everybody, listen the name of the book one more time, and where can we get this book?
The book is called 21 Resilient Women, Stories of Courage and Transformation. The book can be found on Amazon. So if you go on Amazon, you will find it. Just put in 21 Resilient Women. It's trending. I see that our book, people who buy our book are also buying Obama's new book. So I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so great.
Here's the funny thing, and I want everybody to know, this weekend, we're doing a special, okay?
Yes.
Weekend, you're going to meet all the other ladies that's in the book as well. Daisy's coming back on. We're going to be doing a 2-hour special, so you get to know everybody a little bit more about the book. You can purchase the book. We have special guests coming on, all happening this weekend. So you can't miss out. Look out for it, where we get to meet, what makes you tick, what finds out more, what chapters everybody on, and maybe find out a little bit about your chapter and everything like that. So make sure when you pick up the book, chapter 12, you got to flip to chapter 12 and read right there. You can see right there. We won't
start at 12.
Yeah, we won't start at 1. We'll just flip open and go straight to 12 and read from 12 backwards and forward. We'll go from there.
Yeah, but really, just incredible stories, 21 incredible stories across different dimensions of people's lives, such rich stories. There's something in that book for everyone. And so I encourage everyone to pick up the book. And this is what Canada is about. I'm telling you, there's such diverse talent. I've worked with these women, and it's just absolutely incredible, the depth of talent that we have in this country.
All right. So before we let you go, there's one more game we'd like to play here. Are you ready?
Yes.
Here we go.
Now time for Pick 3.
Yes, it's time for Pick 3. So there's questions from 1 to 10. And you're going to pick any numbers between 1 and 10. And those are the questions I'm going to ask you.
Oh, my goodness.
So give me 3 numbers between 1 and 10.
Oh, my. I'm going to say 7.
Okay.
8.
Okay.
And 2.
Oh, thank you. Oh, you're my first guest that didn't pick 3.
Really?
All right, here we go. I'm excited to rumble these off for you now. You ready?
Yes.
First question. If you were in my shoes, what question would you have asked yourself that I didn't ask you?
Oh, my goodness. What would you like your 80-year-old self to say about your life?
And the answer is?
The answer is, I did everything that I wanted to make a difference for others, for my family, and I've been totally used up.
I like that one. All right, next question. Oh, where can somebody find you? So if they're looking for you and they want you do you do speaking engagements? They want to invite you. Where can they find you? On LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook? Where can they find you?
They can find me on LinkedIn and Twitter, and you showed my email earlier. So yes, those are the main areas. Just look for Alicia Sullivan. You'll find me.
Okay. So here's the last question. What was your biggest failure and what did you learn about it?
Oh my goodness. I wasn't going to choose two, I would say my biggest failure in life was uh, having to go through a family law process. I think that what I've learned from that is in any relationship, whether it's your workplace or your family relationship, one has to show up every day, be authentic, be honest, and not shrink away from having tough conversations and being tough. You just gotta be a strong-minded person, willing to do the work, willing to grow, and really willing to become a better person out of the process. I can tell you that I have done the work, and here I am today.
I like that. I like that a lot because a lot of times we give up too easily. We give up on too easily, and then we have it in us. We just don't know. We got to push. So I'm glad you said that, so people can hear that. Yeah, anything you can do is possible. So I love that answer, and I love that your spirit that waking up. Maybe I need to start waking up 4:30.
Well, you have to take it slowly, Charles.
Okay, so I'll start at 7.
You have to be at 7 now. Push it back 15 minutes until you get into this 4:00 thing. The 4:00 is for the greats,
Thank you so much for coming on the show. But before we go, we do something here. It's called the Queen Wave. This is your opportunity to do the Queen Wave and to shout out any family and friends that might be watching. Anybody you want to shout out to, go ahead.
Oh my goodness, I'll do the Queen Wave. Thank you for having me, Charles. Big shout out to all my family members in Jamaica who are watching, all the women on the Let's Grow project who are watching as well, and everyone who will watch this video at some time in the future. Thank you so much for all your love, your support. It takes family and friends and support to really thrive and grow. And I'm so grateful that I have wonderful family and friends. So shout out to everyone.
Okay, I don't usually do this, but I got to ask you one more question. I got to ask you one more question. If we go back in time, and this is the last question, because I think this will wrap it up and help somebody listening. Because I like to give people answers that will help other people listen. If you can go back in time where you are now and you can catch that little girl slipping and sliding in the Vaseline, when you pick her up, what would you tell her?
I would tell her that everything is possible and the world is an oasis and she should just go for her dreams.
There you go. Listen, I could see the passion in you. I love it. And thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you very much for having me, Charles. It's been wonderful.
Thank you so much. We'll see you on Saturday.
Yes, I'll be early. I promise. Not going to be on Jamaican time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Listen to the passion. Listen to the love of what she does and, all the stories and where she's built up from. And if you think that's great, you should read the chapter 12 that she's in. Chapter 12. The book is coming out. It's out right now. I'm going to have all these ladies on Saturday talk about more, to get into it more, to dive into it more, so you can't miss out. So like I always say, you didn't have to watch, but I'm glad that you did. Thank you so much, and pick up the phone and call somebody and say, hey, I'm just thinking about you. We'll see you next time. Enjoy. Have a good one.
Has come to an end. But the fun doesn't have to stop here. If you have any questions, suggestions, or feedback, head over right now to Twitter and Facebook and like, share, and get involved. Join us next time.
Please be advised that this podcast is meant for educational and informational purposes only and is in no way a replacement for legal or medical advice. The opinions contained within are solely those of the interviewers and interviewees and should be received as so. Those seeking help or advice are encouraged